Welcome back to Motorcycle Enhancements TV. Today we have a couple of beautiful king spoke wheels, and we're going to be changing out the bearings in here. This is a 23-inch wheel, and it comes with the standard bearings as we see here, and this is made for non-ABS applications on a 2008 Harley Road Glide. That's what we're installing these on. And we've got a set of ABS bearings with a spacer, and the spacer is made so that I'm going to compare the two different sizes here. The bearing for the ABS application is narrower than the non-ABS, so we're going to be installing this spacer on the inside of the hub right in here. And then we'll install the bearing, the proper bearing. Yeah, this has to go on the inside. The brown side is on the inside. The outside has got the ABS pickup sensors on the bearings. So the spacer will allow the bearing to sit more flush to the outside of the hub, so it can be accessed by the sensor, the ABS sensor on the bike. So we're going to install this, and we got the install tool is going to be hammered in. It's always best to hit the outer perimeter of the bearing, because you don't want to damage the bearing or the inside of the bearing. Solid hit. As you can see, it sits nice and flush. Nice job. We're gonna put our tube, we're gonna flip this guy over, put our inner tube spacer. Yep. Gonna ensure that there's no debris on the inside. It's all clean. The last thing we want is anything to affect the bearing surface, even though they're sealed. But, new tube that is longer, longer than the stock one. And as you can see how it sits up higher than that inner step on the inside of the hub. So the tube is taller than that step, and that's where the ring is going to sit. Now flush, and this will be flush with the spacer. So the tube will sit on the inner race of the bearing, and the spacer will hit up against the outer race of the bearing.
Really, you only need one ABS
Yes.
bearing, but
Yeah, the kit comes with two, so we're going to install the two of them. That's just in case the wheel can be installed one way or the other, but there's always a direction to the tire, as you can see over here. Let me focus in on that. Sorry, hard to focus on this. There we go. You can hear the sound of the last two thumps were pretty solid, so that you can tell it's well seated. Spacer is well centered. Yep. Excellent. And the front wheel's done. Now we're gonna move over to the rear wheel. We'll show you how we extract the bearing. Here we have the rear wheel, and we've got our bearing puller, which we're going to install here. And I'm just going to show you the little teeth that widen up as we install this. it'll open up the center. The shaft will go down deep, and you're setting the depth of the tool into the bearing so it catches the inner lip of the bearing.
You don't want to go too deep when it touches the space.
Yeah. I'll reiterate what Jeff said. You don't want to go too deep because you don't want to catch the spacer. You just want to grab the little inside lip of the wheel bearing with this tool. It's pretty snug there. Just gonna just give it a little bit more. There you go. There's the puller. One bearing out, and now you can remove the inner spacer. Now that we got the other bearing out as well, the second bearing just punches in from the opposite side, so it's easier to take out, and we used a punch, actually another bigger tube, through the opposite side of the rim or the hub, through the hole in the hub, and just punch it out. So those old bearings are not reusable anymore because they've been banged on, and now we'll be right back and we'll install the new bearings, the ABS bearings. One thing I forgot to mention earlier, the other wheel was a 23-inch wheel, so it requires a different bearing for a different ABS sensor count on the bearing, as opposed to the 16-inch wheel, which is a standard size bearing. So that's, make sure you get the right part numbers for the right wheel. Same procedure. Hear that thump at the end, you know it's well seated. Again, we're ensuring that the area is clean, there's no debris on the inside, so that we can sit the bearing in its seat properly. We got to ensure that the spacer is in and that the bearing is oriented the proper way as well. There's your thumb. We're just going to give another tap on the opposite side, make sure that everything's proper, well seated. And there you have it, installation of bearings on a custom Harley wheel. And thank you very much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, and if you'd like to see more videos like this one, write up some comments below and tell us what you think.